Achim. Be'ezrat Hashem, you're doing well today. I wanted to share just a brief moment with you. I want to thank Hashem that we've been able to interact over the past few months, or the past year actually. We've been able to interact and create a community and to link as people who are studying Torah and as people who are uh, looking for God's blessing and looking to do God's will all the time. I want to share something with you, and I'm going to keep sharing some of these discoveries with you as a way of saying thank you for directing my eyes to Perek Haman and also to Perek Shira. But I want to study these parshiot and these blessings and these secrets in depth, like we're supposed to do, to extract the word of Torah from them. And I want to share with you the very first verse of Parshat Haman, where God promises that he will rain bread upon us. Before I start sharing, I want to give you a bit of context. So Hashem provided for me a wonderful apartment. It's winter in this country where I live in. It's cold outside. It's going to get even colder. It's going to rain right through June, July, and August. So it's not a time to sleep outside on the street. How I got this apartment as well is a blessing which I received from Ohel Sarah, from Rabbanit Sarah. She didn't only give me her brachot, her blessings, but she also put her mouth or put her money where her mouth is. And this helped me to acquire the place or to find the place where I live in. And I've been blessed by her institution accepting the little that I have to give. I'm not a rich man, I'm not a rich person, but she has accepted that and she has blessed that and has multiplied, and it has provided me, a homeless person, with shelter, and also has powered my dreams. In return, I want to share this blessing with everyone, or this little small discovery with everyone. And also, going forward, I want to share with you that I'm in one of those situations where I need Hashem's Yeshuot, where I need Hashem to come through for me. So basically, this is what's happening. I'm not able to make rent this month. And right through the month, I've tried my best to get my invoices up to the amount that's needed for rent. And I did get to that amount. But this morning, my clients dropped me this morning and they didn't pay for the month. So automatically that means that I'm falling short. But also I had to pay an urgent creditor that had helped me in previous months. So I'm really not making, after all this effort, I'm really not making rent due to unforeseen circumstances. But I want to share this with you, that from the brachot of the mouth of Rabbanit Sarah, God confirmed to me with, or confirmed emphatically to me, that there will never be a day where I sleep outside, not for his child, not for his children. We will always have shelter, we will always have warmth, we will always have food to eat. But this apartment, I said from the beginning to Hashem that I cannot afford it. It is so luxurious and beautiful. How can I afford it? And Hashem said to me basically that I should feel at home. This is what he was providing for me. And I accepted it with emunah and bitachon. So what happens on a day like today where my calculations fall short? Well, I have to turn to God's promises, and one of God's promises is in Parshat Haman, which is Exodus chapter 16, verses 4 to 36. It's just one verse that I'm going to cover. It says, Wayomer Adonai el Moshe, Hineni mametir lachem lehem min hashemayim ve'atza העם ולקטו דבר יום, ביומו למען אנסנו הילך, תורתי אם לא. And the translation says, and God said to Moshe Rabbeinu, I will rain down bread for you from the sky, and the people shall go out and gather each day that day's portion, that I may test them to see whether they follow my instructions or not. And Baruch Hashem, I've been very meticulous about doing my marketing every day, reaching out to my potential clients, trying to negotiate new deals and to make sales. So I've been going out to collect my bread, but what happens when I reach month end and my bread collection does not suffice? Or what happens when during the month I've paid for my rent and shelter, that my collection for the week, for most Shabbatot, it doesn't come together. And I have these Shabbatot where the only oneg I have, the only joy is that it is Shabbat, but my table looks very mediocre, does not represent Shabbat. And I always say to myself, I have to remember that I am an Israelite, Baruch Hashem, that is coming back to the covenant. I have not re-entered the Brit like I should, so who am I to demand the same blessings as my brothers who were born in the Brit, and unlike my forefathers, they never went astray, they never tasted galut. But this is what I find this morning when I study with great intention. I want to highlight this expression here, which is mametir lachem lehem, which means I will make bread to rain down for you. Lachem. It means to you, but it can also be interpreted as I will make it in English. I make it for them. I will make bread to rain to them. In Hebrew it says to you, but in English it can also be interpreted as to them. Who are them? The children of the covenant. And so I was curious and I didn't know where to start to understand the first part of this wonderful verse. So naturally, I decided to break down this expression and to look at the gematria. So we have here mem tav and resh. I did not put the yud over there because when you look at this word grammatically, that was a chirik maleh. So I left out. Maybe I shouldn't have the yod. But when I left out the yod, it gave me 913. So, sorry, it gave me 457, first of all. So in looking at Kabbalistic text, what is 457 of this combined gematria? It says it's the center point of 913. That's what Kabbalah says. And what is this center point? I got curious. What is a center point? How can we understand what a center point is? And I got to find out that 913 is the value or the sum of Bereshit in the beginning. But we know that in Hebrew it doesn't mean in the beginning because there's a dagesh in the Tanakh. It might not be there in the Torah scroll, but there should be a dagesh. And what does a dagesh mean? It means inside the beginning, which means God in the Genesis, he coded something into the Genesis. So what did God code into the Genesis? I ask myself. Inside the Genesis, God coded an initial point, a nekudah, a point of departure. What is this initial point or point of departure? The point of departure is as soon as God made something to exist, as soon as God created something in Bereshit, God also coded the fact that he was going to be our sustainer. So God created a world not alone, but inside he coded Sustenance. Sustenance is coded for everything that will be created thereafter the world, the word Bereshit. So God is saying, I was your sustainer from the beginning, Bereshit. From inside the beginning, I, Hashem, am your sustainer. We haven't even seen what God will create in verses 2 all the way to 6. We haven't even seen it yet. It's still the first word of Bereshit, yet God says, I am the point of departure, and within the point of departure, I will sustain what I will create. In the beginning, God creates and sustains. And it says, I sent you into the earth. This is now my interpretation, by the way. This is not written in any Jewish text. This is my understanding and interpretation of this gematria that I find. And it says, I sent you into the earth with Parnasa. I didn't send you alone. I sent you into the world with Parnasa. Our rabbis teach us that a couple, a married couple, can struggle financially, but the moment that they have children, those children are sent into the world with providence, Parnasa. It's not the parents that go out and earn money, even though they do it physically, but it is Hashem who's the sustainer, and he sends out these souls, these children into the world with Parnasa. And so for anyone and everyone, whether you're married or not, you have children or not, or in my situation, you're single, you're working hard, you're a creative person, you are always willing to work, yet you go and collect your bread every morning, but you find nothing. When you examine your spiritual life and you examine what you have done during the month, you have done nothing but collect. You have kept yourself in the Torah, you have put in the Torah hours that are needed, and you have pleaded with God that He brings you closer to the Brit and reassuming the Brit every day as a returning Israelite. So what happens then? When month end comes and there's a lot of month end and your income does not reach or does not take care of everything and all the demands of month end, what I get from my understanding of this gematria, where God says, I'm your sustainer from the beginning and I sent you into the world with Parnasa, is that there is no point at any time, there's no point in your life where God will leave you without providence. In other words, Adonai will see. Adonai yireh. Adonai will see. I like another interpretation of Adonai will see that tzaddikim talk about. Tzaddikim talk about, in the mountain of the Lord it shall be seen. In the mountain of the Lord it shall be seen. This is another alternative or alternate English interpretation of the depth of the meaning of Adonai Yireh. And this brings Avraham Avinu to mind when he was going to sacrifice Yitzhak. Yitzhak asks him and says, where's the lamb? Where's the korban? And Avraham says, in the mountain of the Lord it shall be seen. Adonai Yireh. God will see. It's interesting because in the same text it says Hineni. Before it says Mametir lachem lechem, it says Hineni. Now, Hineni means you must see. With what? With your eyes, with your einaim. With your einaim, your eyes, Hineni, behold, you must see. Because God will see. What does it mean? God will do something. Your job is not to stress. And I'm talking to myself now because I have a history of a bad management of stress because of the things that I go through, which I don't complain about, which have made me who I am spiritually. They've damaged my physical body, but my spirit thrives today because of the things I've been through. So God says, Hineni. Hineni can mean here I am, or Hinei, which means behold. So God says, Hineni, here I am. but at the same time it means hine, in other words. Look, here I am. I will make it rain bread upon you. Remember I said that lachem means you in Hebrew, but it can be interpreted in English as well to mean upon them. So what does this mean? It means God is saying to us, you must look, you must behold and see. Here I am. I'll do something wonderful for you today. But at the same time, it means I will do something to them that is wonderful, meaning that God is also speaking to the nations of the world, the people that in my case, I am paying all my resources to so that I can have shelter. My landlord is not an Israelite or a Jew. It's the people of the nations, and they want their money. But God is saying to them this morning, you, the people of the world, watch, I will do something for my children of the covenant. Whether it's those who are halachically in the covenant or myself, who's still working their way back into the covenant after being born in Galut. And I hope that this little attempt at understanding this precious phrase will be a blessing to you, as it's been a source of strength for me. So here I am in the middle of my day. It's about midday or just past afternoon, or just the beginning of the afternoon. I don't know what's going to happen today and tomorrow. All I know is that I'm short on rent, but I cannot wait to share this little small extrapolation of the words, of the Hebrew words, and the gracious Torah that I find in it. May Hashem's name be blessed, whatever is going to happen, not only in my life, but Hashem be blessed in your life as well. That at the end of the week, when Shabbat comes, for some reason, or for a good reason, we may sing Hallel, which is unconventional. But I will sing Hallel because I will arrive at the Shabbat to elevate the week's experience. And I want this week's experience not to be a disappointment, but to be a reason for the beings up above, unseen beings up above, and those on earth to testify that this Israelite has trusted his God even though things have been falling apart. This is the second time this year that a client has dumped me at a very inconvenient time, and for the second time this year I have to rebuild the same house. And I'm talking about my business. Business people will tell you that you rebuild 100 times, but for me it hasn't been 100 times. It's been thousands of times, but I'm willing to do it again because God says, Hineni, here I am. I will make bread to fall upon you. He's also saying, behold, you nations, here I am, their God, and I will make bread fall for them. So what I know for sure is that today God's name will not be disgraced. The Hebrew name that I carry will not be a source of Chilul Hashem, but it will be a source of his eternal blessings, and people will bless God because of what I went through. My landlord will know God because of the way that he will provide for me. For me is to be honest about my situation. For me, to them, for me it is to humble myself before God and to wait for the fulfillment of God will see. Adonai Yireh. Shavua Tov, and may Hashem bless you and keep you and bless your projects and provide you with all the donations that you need. I do not have the resources to donate or give tzedakah. I'm on the receiving end myself, on the needy side myself. But I pray that in the merit of my Israelite fathers, house of Naphtali and the house of Dan, that this bracha that I give may be a blessing to even the children who have sustained the covenant, even unto Yehuda. Have a lovely day. Yom Tov, and Hashem bless.